GrandLAN video blog for books that came out on November 4th, 2009. As always, I'm Craig, your host. We're just going to do one installment. We got 9 books to talk about here, 4 Marvel, 4 DC, and an indie, and it's all right on my lap. I got my sweet chair right here. I'm all set to go. Let's start out with Amazing Spider-Man number 610, Kaplow. The end of the Who Was Ben Reilly story. And it wraps up satisfactorily, I'd say. I was just talking to my boy Anthony, and he said he was kind of underwhelmed by this. I wouldn't say I was necessarily underwhelmed. I guess I didn't go in expecting what he expected. He said he was expecting these characters to be taken off the board and cleaned up and nobody's ever going to use them again. And that's probably true. They probably will never use them again. But it doesn't really matter. They don't really need to clean them up off the board. They told an interesting story. We learned a little bit about Ben Reilly. We got to see Kane again. We got to use the Parker or the Riley kids and Harry at Aunt May's house. So it was good stuff. It met my needs. We'll see what the Gauntlet does when it comes up now. Next up, Astonishing X-Men 32. Did you know this book is coming out monthly now? What? Whoa! Zing! Tony's over there, ladies and gentlemen. Tony, right to my right. That side of the camera. I'm totally drawing a blank as to what side that's going to be to you guys. Probably the right as well. It's late. I'm thinking bad. So anyways, Warren Ellis and Phil Jimenez are doing Astonishing X-Men. And it's nice to have Phil Jimenez on art because it can actually show up on time. And Warren Ellis is writing a great story again. Very interesting development with the Sentinels, and the Sentinels basically spitting out Brood. It's fantastic. Really cool little idea. This book kind of has like this big development at the end, this big shocking ending that really isn't all that shocking, but it's pretty fun. You know, you see them dig up all these dead X-Men, and then it goes, and then they kind of have this delivery moment where Agent Brand is like, and they're doing it to kill the X-Men. The shocking part should be that they're digging up dead X-Men. That's really the point. You know, I understand the idea of having a shocking ending in every issue. It's not going to happen. Just tell us a great story, and other than that, we are getting a great story. Jumping over to the DC universe, let's talk about Batman the Widening Gyre, or as I like to call it, Batman the Graduate. In this issue, Batman has a lot of sex, okay? That's all this book is about. Batman having sex a lot with Silver St. Cloud. Now, I know Kevin Smith has a MILF fetish. I know that's what he does. So you put an old silver-haired lady in there, and he's like, Bruce Wayne needs a lot of pussy. That's exactly what we're going to do. Am I right over there? Am I right? All right, I'm right. See? So this is Bruce Wayne having sex a lot. That's what this book is. If you like Kevin Smith's writing, you'll like it. If you don't, you don't. Next up, Deadpool Team-Up 899 featuring Hercules. Fred Van Lente is a great writer, such as the point that Fred Van Lente Day is an actual holiday in some circles. Certain websites I go to, Good Comics, the Comics Should Be Good blog at comicbookresources.com. So here's a team up with Hercules. This is spinning out of Deadpool 900, counting down now. And Fred Van Lente writes a great story. That's really the point. Very interesting story. Uses Arcade as a fun little villain. Does some funny things. Other than that, you know, could be good, could be bad. But as far as Deadpool goes, it's pretty all right. Next up is Great 10, which started. Tony Bedard starting a 10-part miniseries about this team of characters. I really like these guys from 52, and yes, it's taken a couple years for their miniseries to get off the ground. I forgot what Scott McDaniel's art was like, and to be honest, it was jarring how cartoony it was. But other than that, it was an interesting story dealing with these characters, really getting into accomplished perfect physician and what he means to the team. It'll be interesting to see how they spend 9 more issues kind of telling an overarching story while at the same time spotlighting each of the characters, which I assume is exactly what they're going to do with 10 issues and 10 members of the Great 10. Other than that, it's a good start. Pretty nice for $2.99. Next up, Lobo Highway to Hell. Scott Ian from Anthrax writes this story about Lobo, and Sam Keefe, who used to draw the Max, draws it. Now kids, if you've been reading Deadpool, see, once upon a time, Deadpool didn't exist. What happened, though, was there was a badass, grizzled guy named Lobo who went around killing people in hilarious fashion. That was your dad's Deadpool. That was your uncle's Deadpool. That was your older brother's Deadpool. That was my Deadpool. That's Lobo, right here. Yes, it's $7, but it's real nice, prestige format, nice and thick. It's beautiful. Sam Keefe drew it, painted it. Probably just drew it. I don't think Sam Keefe paints. But anyways, and Scott Ian writes a hilarious story. That's really what it is. It's Lobo Highway to Hell, part 1 of 2. Absolutely hilarious. It's Lobo doing what Lobo does, which is going into hell. He gets summoned into hell by Satan stabbing a dolphin, which, as we know, is still part of Lobo's little thing with his little dolphin starfish, whatever it was, out of 52. And he goes and he decides, okay, well, I guess I'm going back to hell after I've been exiled. Hilarious stuff, really good stuff. If you like Deadpool, you'd like it. If you don't like Deadpool, you know, whatever. It's a Lobo book. If you've ever heard of Lobo before, if you've ever read a Lobo book before, you know exactly what to expect. Next up, Secret 6, number 15. John Ostrander comes back for a very interesting new one-shot, basically. Talking about Deadshot and examining the character and where the character's gone in the past year of Secret 6 stories, which makes it very interesting. Very nice exploration of the character, what he's up to, what he's up against mentally more than anything, psychologically, right now, which is really where the flaw of the character really lies. So very good stuff. Nothing I haven't already said. Secret 6 has been great for 14 consecutive issues. Hi, Tony.
Hi, everybody.
I still got books to review. What are you doing?
Most of you would know me as the Zing guy. Blue Goblin, especially, you would know me as the Zing guy, considering the last Zing that I zung, you stole. So, unless, you know, you want to, I don't know, read your comics through a straw, I would suggest that you stop. Say I won't. Say I won't.
Wow, public service announcement from Tony there. I don't know what spurred that on. It's pretty wild. Blue, I don't know. He might have your address. Be careful. Next up, Strange Tales 3 of 3. Indie creators tackling Marvel superheroes. Stan Sakai doing the Hulk. That's fun. The Peter Baggy, controversial Incredible Hulk story that's not all that controversial. Some fun stuff. Number 1 was definitely the best issue. 2 was pretty good, and this was probably the worst of the 3. But still, there was some fun stuff in here. Definitely fun read for $5. Nice project to support. Lastly, and most importantly, Stumptown number 1. Greg Rucka's... Really? Calls out my viewers and then he drops candy all over the floor. Stumptown number 1, Greg Rucka's first creator-owned work since Queen and Country. Greg Rucka tackles a character named Dex, who is a basically messed up female private detective, very Alias style, set in Portland, and she gets her all into all sorts of business, and that's exactly what, you know, that's what makes for a really good book. Screwed up female lead character that's a detective getting in over her head in a bunch of investigating missing persons crap, and all of a sudden, you know, it goes ugly. That's what Greg Rucka writes. It's what he writes well, and it's a great book. I can't say enough about it. It's definitely the indie book that you need to be reading this week. Definitely check it out, Stumptown number 1. That's it for this week. Thank y'all for watching. I hope you all enjoy the early episode. I'm heading out of town for the weekend, so if you're in the Indianapolis area, you might see me. Probably not, though. But anyways, we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.